All right, here's the deal. I'm 32, and for the last 6 years, I've been married to Sarah, who's 28. We met when she was 21 and I was 25. Dated for about a year, then got hitched. Yeah, I know. Young, fussed. Probably should have seen that one coming. But at the time, it felt right. You know how it is when you're in your mid-20s, feeling like you've got it all figured out. And she's this energetic, bright-eyed thing who just gets you, or so you think. Things were good for a while, solid even. The first 3 or 4 years, it felt like we were building something. We had our routines, our inside jokes, that comfort you get when you've shared a bed with someone for years. But somewhere along the line, probably around year 4, that comfortable feeling started to feel more like just comfortable, not in a good way, more like comfortable with a stranger. We weren't growing together. We were growing apart. It's a slow bleed. This kind of thing, it's not like a sudden explosion. No big fight that marks the end. It's a series of little shifts, small silences that grow longer, fewer laughs, less shared excitement. I started noticing it first. We wanted different things. I was still focused on my career, on building something solid, thinking about the future, maybe even a house. She was still Sarah, but the priorities had changed. Or maybe they hadn't changed. Maybe I just hadn't seen them clearly to begin with. We'd talk, or at least I'd try to. Hey, what do you think about X? Or how do you feel about Y? And it was like talking to a wall sometimes. Or getting half-hearted grunts in return. Or worse, she'd nod and agree in the moment. Then her actions would scream the opposite. I'd point it out, gently at first. Remember we talked about this. You said, and she'd just shrug, or say something like, I can't help how I feel right now. It was always about her feelings, never about the commitment, never about the follow-through. The love, yeah, that's the big one. It didn't just vanish overnight. It faded, like a picture left in the sun too long. You can still see the outline, but the colors are gone. The vibrancy's just bleached out. I remember waking up some mornings, looking at her sleeping next to me, and not feeling that rush, not feeling that pull. Just nothing, a flat line. And that's a terrifying realization. Man, to look at the person you swore forever to and feel absolutely nothing. No animosity, no anger, just an emptiness where something vital used to be. We even tried therapy. That was my idea. Figured, hey, we're adults. We're committed. Let's try to fix this. We went for a few months. It was a damn joke. Honestly, I'd try to explain what I was feeling, how I saw us drifting. She'd sit there, quiet. Then when it was her turn, she'd talk about her journey and needing to find her authentic self. Total therapy speak, straight out of some self-help book she probably skimmed. Never once did she say, what can I do for us? It was always, what do I need from you to be happy? I'd try to meet her halfway. I'd try to explain my perspective, and she'd just hit me with, you're making me feel unsafe right now. Unsafe, because I want to talk about our marriage. Give me a fucking break. It was a manipulation tactic, pure and simple, and it shut down every real conversation we tried to have. I stuck with it, though, gave it time, tried everything I could think of, but eventually, you hit a wall. You realize you're trying to build a bridge by yourself, and the other person isn't even laying a single brick, and then it hits you. This isn't fair to either of us. Staying married, dragging this dead thing along, it was just delaying the inevitable. It was unfair to me because I was living in a shell of a marriage, and it was unfair to her because, even if she didn't admit it, she wasn't happy either. So, I told her I wanted a divorce. It was a Sunday morning. Quiet. I picked my words carefully, tried to be as gentle as possible, told her I still cared about her, but the love as a husband and wife just wasn't there anymore, that we deserved to be happy, even if it wasn't with each other. She was quiet for a minute, staring at her coffee cup. Then she looked up, and her eyes were cold. Not sad. Cold, and then the dam broke. Not tears of sorrow, but a torrent of accusations. You wasted my time, she screamed. You used up my good years, only to leave me. Good years. She's 28. She talks like she's 60, and I left her for a younger woman after decades of sacrifice. I just sat there, listening, because what the hell do you even say to that? I knew this was coming. I'd seen it coming in the way she'd talk about other women, other relationships, always the victim, always the one who was wronged. It was never her fault. Never. Then came the kicker. I want half of everything. My house, my retirement account, my investments, the whole damn enchilada. Like she was entitled to it, just for existing. Sarah, I said, trying to keep my voice even. You haven't contributed much financially for most of our marriage. You've been in and out of jobs, part-time stuff mostly. I've been the primary earner, paying for everything. Her response, a laugh, a bitter, sarcastic laugh. Oh, so now you're keeping score. I was taking care of the house. I was supporting you emotionally. Bullshit. The house was usually a mess, and emotional support from the woman who weaponized unsafe every time I tried to talk. The best part, the thing that saved my ass, was the prenup. We signed it before we got married. I insisted on it. My dad, bless his pragmatic soul, drilled it into me. You protect your assets. Son, don't be a fool, especially when you're young and starry-eyed. Sarah had her own lawyer, reviewed it, signed it without pressure. It laid everything out clear as day. What we each brought in, what would happen if we split. No spousal support unless certain conditions were met, which they weren't. What I brought in was mine. Period. When I brought up the prenup, her face twisted. That prenup shouldn't matter. You emotionally conned me into a dead-end marriage. You wasted my youth. Emotionally conned. What the hell is that even supposed to mean? I proposed. She said yes. She walked down the aisle. Nobody forced her. We were two adults making a choice. People get married. It doesn't work out. It happened. It's not some grand conspiracy to steal her prime years. She's 28. She can still live her damn life. She can still have kids, if that's what she wants. She's not crippled. She's not diseased. She just didn't want to work. Apparently, she kept going, talking about how it was legally binding. Sure, but morally I should give her half because I took the best years and gave nothing back. Gave nothing back. I worked my ass off, supported her financially, paid for our damn life. I was faithful. I tried to make it work. I tried to communicate. What more was I supposed to give? My left kidney. I stood my ground. I don't see it that way. Sarah, I loved you when we were married. I was faithful. I supported you emotionally and financially. I tried everything to make it work. Falling out of love isn't a crime. I'm not going to be punished for something I didn't do maliciously. And that's where we are now, waiting for the lawyers to sort it out. But she's still fighting the prenup, still trying to paint me as the devil incarnate. I'm sticking to it. Why wouldn't I? It was a fair agreement, you know. The comments section on Reddit, where this kind of shit gets aired out, is a damn circus. It's always the same predictable bullshit. You're the a-hole. They scream. By the time the divorce wraps up, she meets someone, marries them, and is ready for a baby. She'll be well into her 30s. You are taking her best years. Are you fucking kidding me? I took nothing. She volunteered. We both did. It didn't work out. End of story. How many men's best years were taken by women who bailed on them, or cheated, or just plain lost interest? Nobody gives a damn about the guy's wasted years. Do they? But a woman? She's practically a martyr for reaching her late 20s and being single again. Another one. You just fell out of love and decided to break a lifelong commitment. Even if you're clear legally, she's perfectly valid in her anger. She didn't do anything wrong. She just changed as she grew up. Now you're leaving because you feel like it. Take care of her better since you're walking out. Take care of her better. I was taking care of her completely. And yeah, I fell out of love. It happens. You can't force that shit. And if she just changed as she grew up, then why am I the only one who has to pay for it? When women do this, when they get bored or find themselves, it's empowering. When a guy does it, he's a heartless bastard. The double standard is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Then there was this gem. You're the a-hole. She's likely been supporting you in the household for the last several years and has to start fresh with no income because you decided to give up until death do us part. You're not dead. You owe that woman half of everything. Fuck your prenup. This one actually made me laugh out loud. She's likely been supporting you. Are these people even reading the goddamn story? I was the one working my ass off, paying for damn near everything. She had no income because she barely worked. And fuck your prenup. That's the kind of entitled nonsense that makes you want to pull your hair out. It was a legal document, freely signed. It exists for a reason, to protect people from exactly this kind of grab. And then, the pièce de résistance, the unhinged rant from some chick who clearly has some serious issues. You're the a-hole. Men always want the young, pretty girl who will give up working and be a trad wife for them. But men like you never want to uphold the commitment and be a traditional husband when she gives up her freedom, her job, her education, and her body for the sake of traditional marriage. It's because she was expecting to fall backwards, and you'll be there to catch her for her entire life. What the actual fuck? Where did I ever say anything about a trad wife? Did I tell her to drop out of school? Did I tell her to quit her job? No, she made those choices. She wanted to work part-time. She didn't pursue a career with any real gusto. And her body, what is this? Ancient Rome. We had a mutually consensual relationship. Nobody forced her. This woman is projecting her entire warped worldview onto my situation, twisting it into some grand narrative about male oppression. She goes on, it's insane levels of trust in you and you utterly squandered it. But to you she was just a toy you played with and ruined her life, wasted her prime years. And now you want to walk away after breaking her. Disgusting. Horrible human. Every woman who reads this, who you even consider being a trad wife, will now toss the thought into the garbage because of you. Hope your fellow men are proud of you for being such a shining example why men deserve nothing. Oh, they all want so desperately what you had. But you prove yet again that men cannot be trusted, and anybody jumps up to yell, not all men. This goes double for you. This broad is insane. Seriously? She painted me as some patriarchal monster who demanded she give up her life, then tossed her aside like a broken toy. There was nothing, not one damn word in my post, about me wanting a trad wife or asking her to sacrifice her education or career. This is just pure, unadulterated female rage directed at men. It's like one guy makes a decision to end a marriage that clearly isn't working, without cheating, and he becomes the poster boy for why men cannot be trusted. It's beyond ridiculous. It just reinforces everything I've seen. When a woman ends a marriage because she's not happy, because she's grown, because she's lost attraction, it's fine. It's brave. She's celebrated. She can take the guy to the cleaners, and everyone cheers her on. But a man does it, for the same damn reasons, without cheating, and suddenly he's the Antichrist. The whole thing has been a fucking stress test. My sleep's been shit. My appetite's all over the place. I've been snapping at colleagues, which isn't like me. I usually keep work and home separate, but this is seeping into everything. My focus at work is shot sometimes. I'm lucky my boss is understanding, or I'd be in deeper shit. It's a constant weight, this legal battle, this emotional warfare. I've been talking to my buddies. They're a good sounding board, guys who've been through it, or seen it. They get it. They understand the financial responsibility dynamics, the pressure to provide, and then the entitlement when it's over. They tell me to stick to my guns with the prenup, that it's what it's for. They remind me of the countless guys they know who got fleeced because they didn't have one, or because they caved under pressure. This whole thing is a test of loyalty versus self-preservation. My loyalty was to the marriage, to trying to make it work. But when that fails, when you're facing someone who wants to bleed you dry for simply wanting to move on, self-preservation kicks in, and I'm not apologizing for it. The most frustrating part, the part that really grinds my gears, is the public versus private relationship reality. When we were out with friends, Sarah was charming, engaging, the perfect partner. People would always comment on how great we were together, but behind closed doors, a completely different person, the passive aggression, the constant nitpicking, the emotional manipulation, and now she's playing the victim for the world to see, and everyone's buying it. It makes you feel like you're going crazy, like your reality is being twisted. I'm trying to focus on the practical logistics of separation, finding a new place for her, sorting through belongings, making sure all the legal paperwork is solid. It's a huge headache, but it's a necessary one. This isn't about being vindictive, it's about untangling a mess and getting back to a stable, respectful life. It's about prioritizing my own well-being without guilt. I was a dumbass for rushing into it so young, for marrying someone I barely knew. I admit that. Big mistake. But I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to do it the right way, with honesty and without malice. This isn't about revenge. It's about recognizing when something is fundamentally broken and having the balls to walk away, even when society, and especially some corners of the internet, want to crucify you for it. I'm learning a lot from this, and not just about legal documents. I'm learning about trust recalibration, about being more careful, more discerning, about recognizing red flags I might have ignored because I wanted to believe in the fairy tale, about trusting my gut when something feels off, instead of trying to logic my way around it. It's a painful lesson, but it's a necessary one. And when this is all over, I'll be smarter, tougher, and hopefully happier. This isn't the end of my story. It's just the end of a chapter, and a new one, a better one, is waiting to be written.